'Tis another evening. Gosh, these grays. Not all of these are grays. That one is. Jeez. This angle makes me look more speckled than I am. Don't get me wrong, I am getting speckled. But some of that is just shine. Like, as far as I can tell, I don't have any of my beard, but this looks like it looks like there's one here. Looks like my beard is speckled, but I've done close inspections and my beard is not. So, anyway, immediately distracted. Today was chill. It started kind of rainy, and that just left me in a nice and sleepy mood. I woke up at a decent time, between 10 and 11, something like that. I could check, but I don't feel like it. Because I've gotten where I turn on, so that sleep alarm, lately I've had it off, but I've gotten where I start it as soon as I'm in bed, regardless of whether or not I'm going to bed, and I don't turn it off until I am getting out of bed. So it will now be an accurate representation of my sleep cycle, or at the very least, my attempted rest cycle. Although I think it's always going to be a little skewed. I know that, like, being on your phone and everything is, like, really bad for sleep and all that. But, I like unwinding in bed, I guess. Laying in bed while winding down is I don't know, I just prefer it to, like, if I sat in my chair for an hour past when I felt like I wanted to be in bed. I don't know. Whatever. I sleep fine. It's getting to sleep that's the problem. And bizarre dreams. But, woke up to a nice little thing this morning. Guy I follow on YouTube. It's actually, if you know who Tom Sky is, his main editor these days, Elliot Goff. Started a sort of podcast where he picks out and highlights good news. You know, not that his thing was, yes, it's important to know everything going on, and it's important to stay informed. But it can also be super depressing to stay informed, especially given the current everything. But he just, so I don't know how often, I don't know if he said how often he was going to do it. But he's just putting together some nice things. Like, for example, Lego's committing to zero plastic, and right now they are working extra hard to find I think biodegradable, but like, the challenge is making it biodegradable, but only when it's, like, in the environment, because you spend $300 on your Lego Millennium Falcon, you don't want it to melt in 20 years. So yeah, I guess, honestly, water soluble was probably the answer to that. But, like, making a product that's just as durable, but also eco-friendly, and that's 100% compatible with existing product, isn't easy, but they are committed, and I give them props for that, because it's just like the human race to end something that never degrades, like plastic, and then decide that it's single use. We literally invented something that will exist longer than us, and we use that invention to make single-use products. I want that to sink in for a little bit. Like, it had to hit me, and I had this revelation around the time the whole plastic straw controversy was peaking. Because, like, on one side of it, man, whatever. Like, at that point Trump was president, we had bigger problems than fucking plastic straws. But, on the other hand, obviously it's important that we do more. Well, I think my major apathy with it was the straw thing became like this sounding board for companies to get good PR. So, like, I want to say, like, Coca-Cola was going on about it, and the Pepsi company was going on about it. It was just like, we live in a world where big companies pump thousands and thousands of metric tons of pollutants into the air and water every year, but they're going to virtue signal based on, you know, reusable straws. That's where they're going to put their effort. Not committing to zero emissions, not even committing to reduced emissions, not committing to green energy, not committing to, renewable resources in their factories. No, they're going to help us make perma straws, and that'll fix everything. Is it an issue that needs to be solved? Absolutely. Is it the only issue that needs to be solved? Dear fucking God, no. How the fuck did I get on this? Lego. I was just talking about Lego committing to being. I needed to rant about plastic, apparently. I didn't even know that was that's a thing that just happened. Jesus. Moving swiftly along. Yeah, got out of bed. Mom brought home food. She brought home Arby's, and I've not had a lot of Arby's, and neither has any of us. So we're kind of just making this up as we go along. And my go-to is chicken. I figured, you gotta work to ruin chicken. You really do. Like, as long as it is cooked and is seasoned in some normal way, or even in some cases abnormal, if you want to get weird about it. Like, frying it, it's really hard. Like, it's hard to do chicken wrong. Just like it's hard to ruin a potato. You gotta work for that to ruin a potato. Like, you can underdo it easily, but that's a simple fix. It like takes some work to ruin one. So she brought home some roast beef and cheddars, which I wish she'd just brought home those. They sounded good, but she brought me home these chicken sandwiches, and they were spicy. Well, they were like on the low end of spicy. And I was hesitant at first because, one, they were spicy. Two, they had lettuce on them. I'm not big on lettuce. It's where they had tomato, but they were missing the tomato. So I just figured, yeah, that's fine. It's probably going to absolutely destroy my digestive system, but whatever. Because the last time I had something very similar to that was many years ago when I was working, and I got it from Zaxby's actually, and it made me feel like crap the rest of the day. But then again, that could have just been work. Because these were fine. I had a whole 1.5 of one later, and it's not something I'd seek out again, but it was fine. It was fine. Brought probably would have liked it better without lettuce. I also probably would have liked it better if it hadn't just been like... Apparently this piece of chicken was just dunked. Like, they just have a vat of sauce, and they dunked the chicken all the way in the sauce, and also smeared the top and bottom, like the inside of the bun in the sauce. Because there was zero structural integrity to this sandwich, okay? Stuff was constantly falling out of it. Like, I get it. You want to give me the sauce. That's awesome. The sauce is great. When I bite into your sandwich, and the piece of chicken that I'm biting slips out of my teeth and out of the other end of the bun, you've overdone it. Like, I was very heavily considering just like dabbing the bun and the chicken both on a paper towel, but I powered through and just, you know, stuck the paper towel on the back so the chicken couldn't escape. And I also wasn't slathering my hand in sauce, because at this point it was fucking everywhere. But other than that, it was a fairly enjoyable experience. And then about 3:30, I got, like, I couldn't keep my eyes open. That's happening more often on days that I kind of make myself get up, because it's hitting, like, 11, and I don't want to fall back asleep, because if I do, I'll probably sleep till 2 o'clock. And I just got in bed and laid in bed for about an hour, and that was fine. Just didn't have any noise or anything running. And then, you know, game-wise, today was, I did dailies in PSO2, and then spent the rest of the day playing Breath of Fire. And I wasted a lot of time, apparently. Well, I say apparently, I know I wasted a lot of time, but I didn't realize I was wasting the time at the time. So, not only did I discover, you know, a massive shortcut in an area I was spending like 30 minutes to an hour having to walk through, just because of all the random encounters and how distracted I was by everything else going on. Not only did I discover that shortcut, but also the game is really vague, like a lot of older titles are, just because there's not room on the cartridge for more text. But like, items have descriptions, but they're really vague. Spells do not have descriptions. You are on your own. And there's a warp spell, and I'm like, okay, that's probably to escape dungeons. Nope. Alright, is it for escaping battles? No. It's for warping to towns from the world map. That would have been great to know 2 days ago. Like, if I had known that when I found this character, literally, like, let's put it this way, this character I ran into at the end of the first day I played this game, which was just the day before yesterday. So if I'd have known that with the amount of running around I did yesterday, and the amount of running around I did today, I could probably knock off a total of about, like, somewhere between 4 and 7 hours of my current playthrough. Although I don't regret it a lot today, because I added another character, a 4th character to my party who was a lot lower level than the rest of my crew. Obviously because I'm over-leveling, because I'm walking everywhere. But that was most of the day, and now I'm gonna lay here and probably play the Siege of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia until I'm tired. So, I'll see you all tomorrow, when I hopefully will not do another 6-minute rant on the state of plastics.